Still loving that Mustang I gave you, kiddo? Grandpa's voice cut through the barbecue smoke like a blade. Everyone turned. My ribs froze on the plate. My tongue stuck to the roof of my mouth. I didn't answer. I looked at Mom. She blinked once, twice. Then she smiled, too fast. Oh, Dad. She sold it. Needed the money for school. I stared at her. That was the moment I knew she was never going to admit it. So I pulled out my phone, unlocked it, scrolled to the audio file labeled Tuesday 11:14 a.m., and I hit play. The sound of my parents' voices spilled into the backyard, loud, unfiltered. Dad, just sign the title. She doesn't need to know. Mom, it's just sitting in the garage. He won't notice. We'll transfer it to Jake. Flip it before she comes home. Lawn chairs creaked. A beer bottle clinked against concrete. The family went dead silent. I watched my mother's smile collapse. 3 months earlier, I was sitting in Grandpa's garage when he handed me the keys. First car I ever bought new, he said. Restored it myself. It's yours now. A '67 Mustang Fastback, cherry red, immaculate. I cried, not just because of the car, but because he trusted me with it. Me, the black sheep, the quiet one, the one who always felt like a visitor at her own dinner table. He gave it to me, and I promised him I'd take care of it. But the next week, when I went back to pick it up, it was gone. Mom said Grandpa changed his mind, that he decided to sell it after all, that it was too much responsibility. I believed her, because I wanted to. But then Grandpa called, confused. Why didn't you ever thank me for the Mustang? That's when the cracks showed. The overlapping lies, the fake concern, the awkward glances between my parents when I brought it up. So I waited, I dug, I played along, until I heard my mother on the phone in the kitchen talking about selling the Mustang to Jake for cash before she gets suspicious. I walked in. She froze. I didn't argue. I just walked out and left my phone recording in the hallway. I kept it quiet. Let them think they'd won. Let them smile at me like they hadn't gutted a promise that wasn't even theirs to break. I told Grandpa I'd been busy with school, that the car was amazing. He didn't know he was being lied to. Until that barbecue. I looked at Grandpa while the audio played. His face drained, one word at a time. She doesn't need to know. Flip it before she comes home. The silence afterward felt heavy, like smoke that wouldn't clear. My father opened his mouth, but I cut him off. It was never yours to sell, either of you. 2 days later, I filed the police report. Not to press charges yet, just enough to shake the ground they stood on. The Mustang had been illegally transferred using Grandpa's forged signature. I showed him the proof. He stared at the documents like they were written in fire. He called the dealership himself, reclaimed the car, reported the fraud. The Mustang came home. To me. Mom cried, said I'd embarrassed the family, that things like this should be handled privately. I told her she should have thought of that when she sold a gift meant for me to her golden child nephew. She said I was being dramatic, said Grandpa would have forgiven them. I asked her if that's what she told herself every time she lied. Grandpa doesn't speak to them now. He calls me on Sundays, tells me about the old days, when people's word actually meant something. Sometimes I drive down in the Mustang and we go for long rides, quiet ones. But the silence isn't uncomfortable anymore. It's clean, solid, honest. They thought I wouldn't fight back, that I was too soft, too quiet, that I'd accept the story they fed me with a thank you and a smile. But I'm not that girl anymore. I don't need to raise my voice to make a point. I don't need to scream to set something on fire. Sometimes all it takes is pressing play. So when people ask me what happened at that barbecue, why my mom won't look me in the eye anymore, why the family group chat hasn't been the same, I just say, That was the day I stopped letting people steal what was mine and started giving them the silence they earned.